Yeah.
Thank you for coming. My name is Kendra Desrosiers. I work at YouTube in marketing. I drive, yes, YouTube. So I'm really excited to be here because my role in marketing is to actually drive a lot of our women, LGBTQ, and multicultural initiatives. So I'm super excited to have such a really great group of diverse creators in the audience and some really excellent panelists. So today we're going to chat about diversity on YouTube, what it's like to be a multicultural creator on the platform, the upsides and downsides, and just their career journey in general. So to kick it off, I would love to have you guys just do a quick 30-second intro. I'm sure you guys aren't strangers to anyone in the audience, but it'd be great for you to write down this quickly.
Hi guys, I'm Asante. My channel is Asante. On my channel, I do a lot of creative videos. I try and infuse creativity into everything that I do. I also talk a lot about social issues, issues of race, and give some college tips.
Hi, I'm Nathan. Nathan says the third Q, not PewDiePie. Thank you very much. I do like comedy, vlogs, sketches when I have the time, and I just talk about like I try to make like inspirational type comedy or something where like you can like walk away with something at the end of the video, where it's like comedy and there's like something that's like not just like a silly video, you know what I mean? And I also talk about like social issues and stuff as much as I can know about ish. So yeah, we have
Hi everyone, I'm Mariane. I have 3 different channels. 2 of them are in Spanish, so I'm aimed mostly at the Latin community. And yay! I talk a lot about girl things. I want to make them feel beautiful, not necessarily through makeup, but just within themselves. And I really want everybody to just feel happy when they see any of my videos. So have a smile like this every time, even if it's just for a few minutes. So yeah, that's pretty much it about me, I think.
Hi, my name is Kendra. I do like a potpourri of things on my channel. Comedy skits and I rap and I give relationship advice to teenagers sometimes. And just trying to preach a lot of like love and positivity.
Central SJW of YouTube. I troll anti-feminists for a living, and I talk a lot about social issues and feminism or whatever.
So you guys are all incredibly successful on the platform, and I know a question a lot of people in the audience was very successful. And I know a question a lot of creators have for you guys is how do you become so successful on YouTube, given that there's so many creators? It would be great for you guys to each just talk briefly about how you build your audiences on the platform, because we each have different strategies.
Yeah, for me, it was all about engaging in the comments and seeing what people wanted to hear from me. I started out in college blogging, and I mentioned that I went to Harvard, and immediately people started commenting, oh, how do I get into Harvard? Like, give me some college tips. And from there, I went into a series about how to get into Harvard, what kind of GPA you need, and that kind of content is also very searchable. A lot of people are looking for it, and so people started finding my channel through that, but then also seeing that I talked about social issues and was very creative, and then always, responding to issues that they wanted to talk about as far as current events and current issues. So yeah, engaging with my audience, engaging in comments. Oh, okay. I definitely agree. My audience really is the most important part, and I think they always tell you what they want. So definitely reading the comments and listening to them is always going to be, for me, and I think for most creators, the most important part. And that is I think the best way to grow your channel, because that way you're going to know what they want and you're going to be able to create videos for them, and that way the videos are going to be successful. And for me also, the quality of what I put out there is so important to me. I don't want to put out any video that's just, oh, I'm done with it, now I can go out
I guess the way about my following is I really use a ton of social media. This sounds generic for this topic, but I get a lot of people who will follow me on Facebook. Like my Facebook following is so much larger than my YouTube following, which is low key really annoying. But it is the way that I get people to come to my channel. And the big thing that I think I do is I try to really, if I'm really passionate, something in pop culture or that's trending really makes me think and embodies an example of one of the concepts I want to break down. I make sure to make a point of jumping on that and not just like putting out a video to put out a video, because a lot of people will put out a video to put out a video because it's the first video, I'm get the most da da da. You know, I'm still trying to do that, but with substance. So that's kind of what I do is I take things that are kind of popular, trending, whatever, and then use them to set the stage for some of the concepts that I discuss. And engagement is really important. I have a series called Truzy where I actually answer people's questions, which has been really, really successful on my channel. Consistency is extremely important. I do it every Sunday, and ever since I started doing it, my subscriptions have blown up. So that's how I do it.
Man, I should do that. Because like
You don't need to though.
nah, I mean that's not necessarily true. Initially growing my channel was easy because there weren't I got on YouTube initially and I tried to do the whole entertainment thing just because I saw no Asian Jews like at all on like anything aside from, like Rush Hour extras. So I remember just watching like an old episode of Fresh Prince, and the only Asian dude I saw had was like the nerd at prom with the big blue tux on, like talking to Carlton, and I was like, man, that's not me, So I wanted to just kind of like get out there and just rep for the Asian dudes that weren't like that, right? So I initially like it was easy to grow my YouTube channel because there was so many Asian kids who had never seen Asian people being funny or singing or rapping or doing anything like that. So it was all of them just hungry on. I'm like, oh my god, this person looks like me. I'm so excited. I'm gonna subscribe. And as more channels popped up, I feel like a lot of Asian dudes are on YouTube now, but they don't necessarily like a lot of them are more family friendly. That's dope. Like shout out to like Wong Fu and like he those are all like my boys. But I feel like there's also it's important for me to be on YouTube, like cussing and saying naughty words, because I feel like people should know that like not all Asian dudes like super shy and that like awkward family friendly Asian guy, like hey, like we say naughty words and stuff. So I felt like there was a lot of people that could relate and were able to just kind of be like, hey, I'm glad to see someone repping. I should be way more consistent. I try to upload every week, but I never got on the schedule because I'm so just like all over the place. It's hard, but yeah. Okay.
It's really hard to just stand out on YouTube. Like there's so many I don't know, there's kind of like cookie cutter channels out there, and I didn't know what I wanted to do to stand out, and I still don't really know if I stand out like that much. But pretty much what I just try to do, or what I've tried to do, is just talk about things that I'm passionate about. I don't know why I said that. Passionate about, and it's just that. Try to I work really hard on my vlogs with comedy. I really can't just sit and talk. I wish I could, but I spend a lot of time with the flow of the vlog and trying to make it you're entertained all the time instead of deciding to leave 3 minutes in. So it's just something that I'm really just writing and just editing and all that. I'm just really passionate about it, and I feel like people can see that, and that's why I've been able to grow as much as I have.
So let's get a little bit more tactical about how you're approaching your channel. Each of you guys really are new businesses online. Do you guys have a team helping you with production, or do you think people need a team? Nate, we'll start with you.
Okay. No, not at all. I'm literally, my videos will be out of focus because I don't have glasses. I can't see. So the little thing on the screen, I'm squinting. It's is that out of focus or not? And I'm like this, and I'm the only person who's in all my videos. If you've ever seen my videos and you've noticed, I play all the characters. The last one I did was I was talking to my subconscious, and it was two parts of me, and I was talking a good version and an evil version of myself. I have one probably coming up where
a future version of myself comes back in time to the present me and talks, and that's just another excuse for me to talk and be both characters. So I don't, but I have a hard time like working with people in terms of like explaining if this is like funny. Like I can't do it unless it's all put together, like edited. Like if I give you like a piece of a jigsaw puzzle, like and tell you it's like a bear, you wouldn't really get it unless like all of it was put together. You know what I mean? So the same thing with like my videos. Hopefully I'll just be better at that and like working with people. Right now I'm just alone and no friends in my room.
Boys born life.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that's how everybody starts. So
Yeah.
don't worry
I've
about
been doing it
it.
for 5 years, but that's the problem. For like half a decade, I've just been like by myself. Hopefully, because I just, if I'm like out here in LA or something like that, I'll be able to collaborate more. No one lives in like Washington D.C. area. There's no YouTubers out there. So discuss that.
I think it depends on what you want to do. You know, I definitely started off just making like silly videos in my room and just me and my homie with my camcorder, like my dad's camcorder. You know, but as time has gone on, as YouTube has evolved, like I'm doing sketch, like a lot of skits, and you know, nowadays these kids, man, they don't want you just with your camera anymore. Now it's like they sing and they're like, oh, dude, this skit looks cheap. You know, they're like, dude, what's wrong with the sound? You know, yeah. And so it's like now they're kind of entitled. You know, they expect you to have like a crew. They've seen me shoot with a crew, so they expect like the HD cameras. They expect cool angles. They expect like some cinematography and shit. So I can't just do that when I'm doing a skit now. You know, even though like you know, I feel like with the emergence of like Vine and Instagram comedians, it's like people are more forgiving of that, and it's kind of like the old YouTube days where you could just do a little cheap looking sketch.
But it is on Instagram. If it's on YouTube, then no.
I know. I don't actually all Vine is Instagram, which I'm cruise now. So, but like it depends on what you want to do. You know, there's definitely vloggers out there who are just like doing like, hey, how many bananas can I eat challenge, and they'll get way more views than one of my skits does. That I have a whole crew for it. You know. So it really depends. Like I'm practicing what I do is like I'm trying to write and I'm trying to act and I'm trying to create these stories. And for what I do, a crew is helpful if not necessary. So yeah.
I literally have like I built a studio in my apartment. So but I do everything. It's a little overwhelming, but I kind of have a control thing when it comes to my videos. Like I don't really like for other people to be touching stuff unless they know what they're doing. But it would be nice to have people just set things up and then leave.
It's something that
Yeah, I'm a one-woman show, and I think a part of that is because I have a full-time job, and so YouTube is something that I sneak into the spare moments of my day, and there's no one who I can call and say, hey, it's 2 in the morning, let's film a video. You know, like I'm the one who's ready when I am all the time, and so a lot of that has to do with, you know, me just, you know, I'm getting ready for work in the morning, I have an extra 30 minutes, let's, you know, do some, you know, audio effects, so let's do some motion graphics on this, so let's set up the lights because it's in the dawn, you know, it's the golden hour, so let's, you know, hop on camera.
So you're a morning person?
I try. Recovering now.
So you guys have mentioned about how on Vine and Instagram, some of the expectations for content is different. What social media platforms are you guys active on, and why did you choose to be active on them? Why don't we kick it off with Em?
Me?
Yes.
Oh. So I think I'm active on the ones I like the most. And that really shows. It's incredible. But for example, Twitter, I hate Twitter. I'm sorry, Twitter, but I'm just not good with you. We don't get along. And that really shows. I only have like 200,000 there. The other is like, the other one's like millions. So
When you hate a social media platform, you only have 200.
well, I mean, you can see the difference. I mean, you can see the difference. That's what I mean. So, but some other people are great with words and great with writing, and they do amazing in Twitter. But for me, I'm just not. I'm not that good with talking. So you guys might think that's weird, but I'm really not. So it's just. I don't know. It really shows. So right now, to answer in terms of which ones are they, so YouTube is my absolute favorite. I think it's obvious. So YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Snapchat. I really loving Snapchat, and sometimes it's hard with Snapchat because I know it's kind of taken over everybody's life now. And I feel like because I do daily vlogs too, so it's like, what do I put on the Snap that I don't put on the vlog? But there's, you know, you just add a filter, and it's like you're just looking somebody as a dog, and it's okay. It's fun.
I don't really like Instagram.
What? What?
I only have like 3 billion followers. Like YouTube is the one I'm really proud of what I put out on YouTube. So I spent like the most time on there. I actually love Twitter. Like my Twitter blew up last year. I was one of the few YouTubers that was really like utilizing like the Twitter video thing. You know, everyone's like gotten on it, but like I don't understand why like YouTubers were doing the Twitter video thing.
I did know this.
Yeah, see what I'm saying? You just give me an entire Twitter account. So that, yeah, I don't mess with Snapchat. I used to be on Vine a lot, and there was this weird time where like YouTubers and Viners had like beef. They were just like not liking each other, but I really liked both things, so like I made a lot of friends on both. And I really have I don't use Snapchat at all. But like YouTube is like the one where I really like try to like bring my A game. So that.
I use Facebook a lot. I'm also on Snapchat. If you watch my Snapchat story, you know exactly what happened to me before I got on the stage. And I think that they're both successful because I think with my content on YouTube, I have a distance between myself and my audience, where it's like I'm just presenting the facts to you, which was really not the way that my YouTube channel used to be. My YouTube channel used to be where I would like come and talk about this great date I went on, or this guy that was an asshole, or you know this piece of cake I ate that was amazing, you know. And so I stopped doing that because I kind of got to a point where sharing my life became really uncomfortable for me because people would really try to make drama and mess out of everything. So I kind of did that, but then I missed having that connection with my fan base. And I think that Facebook is really successful because sometimes I'll be on Facebook, I'll just turn the camera on, I'll go on live, and we'll just like listen to story time videos while I do my nails. Like I have like a thing where people hang out with me, and I think that's why it's one of my biggest platforms, because instead of having being the person who I never want to make it seem like I feel like I'm too good for to show my other sides. You know what I mean? I want people to really feel like I'm unapproachable. Because something I've heard all my life is I'm so intimidating. I don't know why. That's what I've heard.
It's
So.
the height.
Yeah, I'm 5'10", so that helps. But yeah, so I think that's why it's successful. I also tend to be more raw on there. I'm really respectable on Facebook, and sometimes when I'm popping off, not on Facebook, on YouTube, and sometimes when I'm popping off on Facebook, people are shocked. They're like, oh my gosh, I thought you were a respectable negress, I'm very surprised that, I can sometimes not back. I'm very surprised. But yeah, so I think it's more real. Some people don't even follow me on my this is what's really annoying. Some people that follow me on Facebook don't even know I have a YouTube. They're like, you have a YouTube channel? I'm like, why do you think this page is there?
No, I feel you. I'm gonna touch on that right now. I got on Snapchat specifically for the kids, because the kids love Snapchat, man. At first, I didn't know how to work it. I'm like, I'm in a relationship, I can't send nudes, I can't get nudes. I have no reason to be on this app, But then when they started the stories, right, where you can watch when you make the stories public, I was like, okay, let me get into it. But then, like, as a vlogger as well, it's frustrating because I'm like, okay, let me vlog this. I'm like, cool, HD camera. Then I'm like, all right, y'all, let me Snapchat this. Same thing, I'm like, I don't know what to do. And then it's annoying when my stories are getting like I don't know, like 100,000 views, which what my vlogs would get, and then my vlog views are going down. I'm like, so y'all would rather watch it on a fuzzy phone than HD on YouTube, where I can make money. But but Instagram is my shit. I think Instagram and Facebook, it's really helpful for sharing my YouTube videos. I feel like, especially now for me, I've been on YouTube for so long. You never know where your fans might have gone. Views for me definitely aren't what they used to be, but like, not everybody has time to check their YouTube subscriptions, and maybe they might be on Facebook. So I try to utilize everything now, like even Vine. You can put long videos on Vine now. Twitter is up there to like a minute. Facebook, Facebook, Instagram has minute long videos. So now it's like, after I put up a YouTube video, it's annoying because I'm like, let me make a minute long clip for Instagram, then let me make a 15-second long clip for Vine, and I'm just trying to promote everywhere. And then like, what's annoying is like 2 weeks later, I'll put something on Instagram, my video I put up like 2 weeks ago, and they're like, LOL, check out this video, they're tagged their friends. I'm like, I put this shit up 2 weeks ago, and you're just now watching it, aren't you subscribed? But, that's why, man, I try to just get in where I fit in. Every app, all of them, musically too, I lip sync to my own videos. Not really.
And you don't have to use all of them because the algorithms have changed so much with certain things that people just don't see stuff anymore. Like you post a Facebook video, a YouTube video on Facebook, like, oh, they won't put that shit in your feed.
Yeah.
But you upload it directly, it's the first thing that pops out. So.
And something else that I think is important is for it to be a little different for each platform. So there's the algorithms and everything. So the content that works on YouTube or on Twitter doesn't necessarily work on Facebook. So you guys as creators really have to keep that in mind and really see what works best.
Yeah, for me, it's interesting using Instagram because I am an artist, and a lot of artists and creators use Instagram to showcase their work and do a lot of like portfolio development and show like very artsy photographs. And so, being in that field as well, and having a lot of colleagues who also have that sort of artsy Instagram, I'm thinking, are there too many selfies? Are there too many pictures of me with my natural hair? Because I do hair videos as well. So like trying to balance those two things on Instagram is interesting for me. I love Twitter because you can tag people for everything.
Yeah.
Just like being able to tag people directly in photos and videos, and YouTube, of course, is my favorite for the chorus.
Oh, can I just build on that real quick, or being like picky about what you put on Instagram? Because it's funny because now, as YouTubers, as people who use social media as like a 24-hour like career, it feels weird saying Instagram is part of my career, but like, it is like in terms of building your audience, and especially when building these brands on these social networks can get us brand deals and can get us more money. Not to talk about money, that's nice, And like, so I'll be on Instagram like, okay, a selfie probably won't get as many pictures as a picture of me and my girlfriend, So I'm like, let me not post too many selfies. Make sure show them a few pictures of my girlfriend so I get a lot of likes, because it's like the more likes you get, the more it shows up on things people are liking feed, and you'll get more followers. So I try to make sure like the feed, I can't just post whatever I want, I might be looking cute in that selfie, but I'm like, can't care about that. That's just me feeling myself. So I'm like, yeah, right. Send that to my chick. She deletes it. She doesn't care. She's like, why are you still texting me? But so it's like now we have to be conscious of what we post because it's like a part of what we do.
So when we talk about social media networks, we often hear like people discuss communities like say brown Twitter, black Tumblr, Laxism, as names for like specific cultural communities on these different social media networks. When it comes to YouTube, would you say there is a Asian YouTube, a black YouTube, a Latino YouTube, and Nathan, we'll start with you.
It's just harder on YouTube because it's like you have to make a video, and it's like Twitter, you could just reply to people directly. It's like Twitter's like a comment section, so you just have like a community there of people like replying to each other, quoting each other. It's just way easier. YouTube, if you like, not everyone also can just make a video, and the people that do, I feel like we haven't really had like a real community. So like more recently, we did like the YouTube Black thing, but yeah, it's just like you see those people like at the beginning. There were like so many like great Asian creators that were on top, and that was awesome. I'm not sure if there was like a real like community feel of it, but it's kind of like everyone's like doing their own thing. You know what I mean?
Oh, well, as far as Latin, I feel I think there's really communities kind of everywhere. Of course, in YouTube, there's a Latin community, and it's been amazing because it's grown so much over the past few years, and I've really gotten to experience it, and it's really a beautiful thing. But I think it's not only in YouTube. I think that happens really anywhere. You can see it on TV, you can see it with magazines. I mean, it's really everywhere, and I don't feel it's necessarily a bad thing because sometimes you, as a Latin person, or even just not African American, it's really easier and somebody that speaks the same language as I do. For example, me as a Venezuelan, there really was nobody from Venezuela on YouTube. So that, to me, I wish there was more people from Venezuela because you know, you want to hear somebody with your same accent, and I'm sure it happens to you guys, even with you know, with everything, not just words, but you know, things you can relate to.
Tim, is there an Asian YouTube?
I mean, definitely, definitely. I remember feeling like when YouTube first got going, like all the top creators were like Asians. It was like Caption, Anita, like Abby Swift was like popping, and I remember thinking, yo, this is our shit. Like, we have something, right? I was like, okay, everyone else can have the mainstream. We're gonna thrive on YouTube, and then everybody caught up, and I was like, shit. But I mean, now to this day, you know, it's weird because there was definitely like almost like a golden age. I always reference like to my Asian musician homies, because there was like a few years, maybe like 4 or 5 years ago, where we were all like really popping, like flying around the world, like, and a couple of us weren't even all that good, but it was just because it was just off the Asian hype. Like, people were just excited that there was a group of like Asian singers and rappers like all performing together, and they were coming out to support, you know. And but now it's kind of died down. I don't even know if there's so much of like an Asian YouTube community now. Now it's just like, you know, Ryan's doing his thing. I'm trying to keep up. You know, we're out there. We're chilling.
Why do you think it kind of dissipated? What happened?
You know what? I think almost it had partly to do with the fact that people were so hyped just off of it being Asian, you know, because I had a feeling that like, you know, like this is only gonna take it so far, like just the Asian appeal of it, right? Because like, yeah, it's fun and all, but then it's like, are people really gonna care about it that much? Like, as exciting like this whole group of Asians, but then it's like when everyone's not necessarily Asian, like a lot of it was just like it was just off of that. So I think after the excitement wore off, you know, it's like, okay, I don't really care anymore. You know, like I've seen you sing, and then it just got very saturated, and then it was hard to get excited about new performers. Like I couldn't name any up and coming like Asian performers now, but like back in the day, we all knew who we were. We were like watching each other's videos, we were sharing each other's videos, and then we just got Hollywood. Stop talking. You know? No, it's not true. We're still cool. We're still cool. We communicate sometimes.
I would echo that as far as like a black YouTube. I think kind of like what Nick was saying on Twitter, like we can all link to each other, and kind of through following the links and following the trails find some sort of unified thread, unified voice that comes out. Whereas on YouTube, you know, everyone has their particular platforms, everyone's channel is very different, and everyone's kind of saying and doing their own thing. And I think as far as like visibility on like the top levels, there's not a lot of visibility, a lot of clear like voices like, oh, this is the person that we go to. Nor should there be necessarily one person to go to. But I think that yeah, it's not as like linked together on YouTube, and because of that, a lot of people even say like, oh, like where are all the black YouTubers? Like where, as far as on the community level, where are all the black people at VidCon? You know, and kind of have a meetup to kind of promote that.
Oh, wait, can I add on real quick? Because you reminded me of something. You made me realize why it dissipated so much. Because like I realized that we a lot of us didn't want to just be known as Asian YouTubers, you know. So we kind of like began to disassociate ourselves, like not necessarily like there's no beef, but it was kind of like we don't want us to be lumped together as performers just because we're Asian, you know. Like we kind of just want to do our own thing, and then that's why it kind of just like fizzled.
And with that said, I'd actually love to talk about the role of intersectionality in how you approach your content and your narrative and your personal brand. And so when I say intersectionality, we're talking about representing multiple identities. So say you are both black and female, or perhaps, you know, you are a guy, but you're also part of the LGBT community. What does that mean when it comes to your content? Kat, I'd love to kick it off with you because I think you represent a really interesting perspective in that space.
Well, I like to refer to myself as intersectionality salad I believe intersectionality is so important, but it's also sometimes I struggle to always think that everything that happens to me is intersectional at all times, you know? Like, I know sometimes people just don't like me. Like, it's not, you know, because I'm black or a woman, they don't fuck with me, and that's okay. But yeah, I believe, though, that it is important. I mean, even though there's, like, stuff that I don't necessarily always feel, like, comfortable discussing, I do feel like it's important to discuss it, because who else is going to discuss it, you know? One thing I've noticed about the people who follow me is, like, people who follow me look so different. Like, I've had this little teeny tiny white girl run up to me the other day. Like, she looked like she was like 10. And I was like, I was shocked that she liked my stuff. She was like so excited to see me. And that was really great. People, you know, identify with very various aspects of me because I embody so many things. And I do feel like, you know, as people who are on YouTube, I mean, it's no one's responsibility to represent anything, but I do feel like we have a responsibility to, especially when we embody multiple identities and experiences, to acknowledge that, you know, you know, you can be where we are now and also be this and that and that and that and that. Like, there are a lot of people who contact me all the time who are like, it's amazing to see that you're doing this thing, that you're, you know, flying around and speaking at colleges, and you're a black trans woman of size, that's repetitive. And, you know, I love that because I think that even if you might not identify with all of me, you can identify with some of me. And I think that that's really amazing because there's really not a lot of that, especially on YouTube. You know, person, we're talking about the whole black YouTube thing. I didn't get a chance to put my piece in, so let me put my piece in now. My feed is mostly black women, for the most part. You know, even if it's story time videos, Cosmob and Anonymous. You know, if I want, you know, messy news, I have lovely tea in there. I've got my thick chick vlogs if I ever want to feel like I want to hang out for an hour and talk about stuff. You know, I love that we do have kind of a little community. In fact, being here is kind of weird because I don't know half these white people. But I respect them and I'm willing to work with them. I'm sorry.
Do you want to hear about these other creators you don't know, the opportunity to make new friends?
Yeah.
More than tolerance.
I'm very tolerant.
Oh, okay. In my case, what I've been trying to do over the past couple of years as I've grown more and my audience has grown more and just as a person, I'm just trying to talk about what I know personally. When it comes to other issues, for example, for me, I'm just talking about being a black male living in America, as well as Ethiopian American, and just how I learned to embrace my culture over the past couple. What do you mean? This is Ethiopian jersey. I'm not gonna Thank you. So it's like me being able to do that is what other people can relate to, and I only want to talk about those things because that's what I went through. When it comes to women's issues or something, I don't even want to call myself a feminist ally because I don't think that's a title I should put on myself. I don't want to talk about feminist issues because I don't think, when you have a lot of followers and you talk about certain issues, people look to you as a leader, and the last thing I want to be is a leader in a movement that's not really about me. So what I'm trying to do, see, this is another thing too. People will praise you for talking about those things, and then people will praise you for doing things like what I just said. So I mean, thank you, but it's just a weird thing that as a man, I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing. And I have a platform, and what I'm trying to do is just put a ladder down for other people to have that same platform to come up to. So when it comes to trans issues, when it comes to women's issues, just any other issue that I'm not really a part of or probably don't understand, I'll just quote a thread I see of a woman talking about catcalling or something, anything that I've never experienced, and I'll be read this or I'll retweet it because that's just I feel how it should be for me. And I also don't want to if I spoke on those issues and I said something wrong, I don't want to be invited out to speak on something that a woman's or trans. That'd be weird. I see that all the time, and it's a woman should be there, or a woman of color or something like that. That there are plenty, way more qualified people, but they just don't have the platform. So with what I'm trying to do with the platform I have, just give the megaphone to someone else.
about issues of injustice that pertain to people who look like me would be self-centered. And I feel like, you know, if you, like injustice anywhere, injustice everywhere, as far as I'm concerned. So I feel like we all have an obligation to at least say something, not to make ourselves the forefront of the discussion, but to promote other people who are also talking about that. So, for example, when I make videos about LGBT plus issues, I'll make sure to put the disclaimer in front, like, you know, I'm not the lead voice on this. Here are some other great videos about people who are talking about this topic. And also, a lot of times, I will involve those people in my videos. So, I have a whole series about intersectionality where, you know, I had a trans guy come on and we talked about what his experience is and how, you know, we can both have intersectionality play into our identities. And to have those people featured on your video platform, if that's where you have a lot of views, I think is also really important.
I'm curious, what has been the response from your fans when you guys do decide to talk about social issues?
I was gonna say, and it relates to this too, that like since I'm an Asian dude and there's not a lot of like Asian voices like in general, like whether it be on YouTube or like you know on TV or movies, as soon as anything happens in the Asian like community, like remember like the UCLA, the Alexandria Wallace, as soon as that happened, everybody was blowing me up on Twitter like, Tim, what do you think about this? What do you have to say? You know, so it's like as soon as anything Asian happens, it's like, yo, who's the, you know, like I don't, they don't know anyone else to turn to, you know, so it's like, yo, tell us what you think, bro. You know, so it's like there is kind of like some pressure to represent. I don't like to jump in a conversation unless I have something new to add to it, you know, like when everyone's kind of saying the same thing about a topic, I just kind of let them all do that, you know, but for sure in terms of like when it happens to my people want to hear what I have to say, you know, so you know, that's cool.
Yeah, that's the thing though. It's like there's no singular like, for example, like black voice or black thought or Asian voice or Asian thought. But when we have like these followers and they don't have many people to turn to, like we become like that thought. And I don't want to be a representative for like millions of people because I'm just me. So it's just like it's a hard thing to like be able to balance and like make sure that like I don't speak for everyone. So like they'll have like a person like they'll bring some black dude on Fox News that just like talks about be like, yeah, all boys do matter. It's just like things like that. So I mean they do, but okay, you know what I mean? It's just like, yeah, blue lives matter. It's just like they try to like detract from the situation and they try to make it so like this dude is like speaking for black people. And it's just like when I'm out here and I'm like one of the few like Ethiopian Americans that are also a teenager that are like here I'm trying to represent but at the same time make sure that I'm speaking for myself and not everyone.
Yeah, sometimes it's really hard for me because people come to me all day long. People on my Facebook page who are constantly posting new stuff, new thing happening. What do you think about this? 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 And it's like for me, I guess because I am someone who does have these conversations, like I don't really make content that's like different. You know, I'm not like I don't do comedy or anything. I talk about this stuff. And people, you know, I say a lot of stuff, but a lot of people aren't saying it. It's not popular to do the kind of work that you know I do. So people kind of do have this expectation, and so sometimes I'll put out content and then it'll be used as like, well, this is what feminists think, this is what black people think, and it does bother me because I have a lot of unpopular opinions about a lot of things, you know, a lot. You know, there's a lot of mainstream, well, I wouldn't even say mainstream narratives, but things that people expect me to say that I don't say or feel, you know. There's a lot of stuff that happened recently that people wanted me to comment on, and I really don't comment on it, you know, because as someone who talks about stuff like, you know, death and things like that so often, I've almost become really, not indifferent, but like dead into it. Like, when stuff happens, I don't have a response because I'm already so hurt by it, you know. And so it sucks that you know, when people ask me, I can't always give an answer. That's when I really do try to turn to other people and say, well, you know, I'm so sure someone, you know, this other person has made a video, which is why I think it's so important to always build like a community of people that, you know, are doing similar work because we can't always answer everything for everyone, you know. I have people on my YouTube who I have in my YouTube circle who I know do similar work that I do, where they'll comment
think it's really important. Have you guys been following along with conversations with things like hashtag Oscar so white or whitewashed out, and a lot of the hashtags associated with diversity in entertainment? Are you guys familiar? Yeah, it's been super popular, and I know a lot of us are thinking, what kind of things can we be doing to help solve this diversity challenge? And what role does YouTube and digital media in general have in that? And I think this is a really important conversation. And Tim, I think it'd be great to kick it off with you.
I mean, sure. You know, like in terms of like just diversifying like the media and movie roles and stuff like that. I mean, that's always been my goal. You know, I mean, that's the whole reason why I got on YouTube. That's why I do what I do is because I just wasn't represented at all growing up. You know, and that was so frustrating for me. And I remember even like being in college and this girl in my theater class was like, she described it to her friends like, yo, there's this Asian guy in my class. He's so cool, he's Asian, but he's not like Asian. And it's just like because they're not used to seeing anything beyond the nerdy or the karate Asian, you know. And I feel like sometimes just me being me and repping is enough to like help motivate some of these kids, you know. And I make it a point to not even though I would love to just take all these different parts to not like reinforce like negative stereotypes, you know what I'm saying? Because I got an offer for like a dope movie, right? This guy was kind of like he's big, all right? And he had a part for me in this movie. He's like, yo, it's gonna go on world. It's like a world star movie. It'll be really good. I got this part for you. It'll be so funny. I'm like, all right, cool. What's it about? And he's like, okay, well, you know, you like the camera dude, right? I'm like, okay. I'm listening. He's like, you're kind of like a shy character. I'm like, all right, that's cool. I'm listening. I go on, and as I'm reading the script, there's one part it's like the character like gets pants, and like the script is like his little penis is flapping in the wind, and I was like, come on, bro. It's like, come on, dog. I was like, I can't do this part, man. It's like, I'm not gonna do this. You know, I make my little joke on my terms. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, you know, I'm just out there. I feel like at my people, especially because we come from such a shy background, and culturally we're quieter. I think it's important that we, you know, put ourselves out there more and support Asian filmmakers and stuff like that. Because it's easy to complain about it, but then not support your own people making these projects, you know. So I'm just, you know, yeah, that's it.
That's a really good point. Like one thing, I hear people complain all the time about there's not enough trans films, there's not enough black films, there's not enough. And then I know people who are making these films and they're struggling to get funding. You know, I think that one thing that these conversations about on Twitter, about Oscar so white and things like that will encourage or does encourage is people realizing that we do have the power to go and fund someone's film to make that thing that we want happen. You know, there's a lot of people who complain there's not enough people who are willing to put their money where their mouth is. You know, so there's a lot of people out there that are trying to do the work that you want, trying to do the stuff that you say you're interested in. But some people are very too invested in Hollywood co-signing validating them, co-signing them, saying, you know what, you're gonna come through the white gates and suddenly you win. You are everything that we want here right now, and they don't feel like it's valid unless they have that. And I don't think that that's something that we need to be necessarily relying on. You know, we live in a very interesting and exciting time. You know, there are people who have been able to do really amazing things with Kickstarter and GoFundMe, and we can empower our own community. And I think especially as influencers, I've been promoting this project called No Fats, No Femmes, which is this really amazing documentary about being black, being queer, and fat, and how that impacts you within the community. And I've been putting that on my page as much as I possibly can. And I think that more people need to do that, especially when they're influencers, because we can get these things. We just need to, again, put our money where our mouth is.
I think that's where the power is in digital media, with the ability to diversify it, is that it democratizes the process so that everyone can put their $20, to where they want
come on YouTube, have their thing, and now they're working for HBO. You know, I think that YouTube really is changing. I think that digital media really is changing the tone, and I'm really excited about new media. So.
Awesome. So with that, let's go straight to questions.
Yeah, Tim, I know you're. Okay. Tim, I know you're probably. Is this working?
I can hear you.
Okay. Well, I know you're probably tired of seeing me, but this question is probably more focused at, or is more focused at you. And well, I know I'm no man dime, and I mean no offense, but you're no cutie with the booty. But
Hey, you ask.
you said at your last panel that like there are these like little cutie white boys that you know within a year they're already bigger than you, and I know I can't you know sing terribly about sweatshirts and suddenly have a bunch of little girls.
Do not disrespect Jacob.
Okay, well, I'm just wondering, like, how do you bridge that gap? Because, like, people's first impressions of you are going to be what you look like, right? And if you're not, like, hot, then, like, what do you do?
Well, I mean, first of all, I'm sexy. But secondly, man, you know, like, yeah, of course, a super cute white boy is gonna get a lot of followers really quick. Like, I mean, that's the world we live in, you know. Like, no shade to anybody. Like, sexy ass people are gonna get followers if we're in the age of, you know, double tapping and looking at shit, you know. I feel like that's why you just have to create good content, you know. Like it's if you know that you're not as cute as Jacob, then make sure you're funny and you're entertaining, you know. Like it's the same thing when you're like trying to talk to a girl, you know. Of course, like the super cute white boy, she might look at him first, but like man, but funny dudes, bro. I'll steal any cute white boy, bro. And it's the same thing, and that applies to like life. You know what I'm saying? Like with entertainment and girls. You know, so just be good. And you know, get a nice haircut. I try to stay fresh.
And balls from plastic surgery.
Next question.
So guys, I wanted to talk about, ask you guys this question. As a fellow Latino YouTuber to the Latino community, especially to all my fellow Latinos here.
In support.
Alright, so I just wanted to ask you this. There's a lot of Latino viewers I've noticed in the community, but I feel like we don't see as much Latino creators, you know, and I feel like we need to empower each other. What can we do? Like, I've started locally in my hometown because I live in a Latino community in Tampa, Florida, and I've been supporting my local community, and I've been showing them my videos and stuff like that. Is it better to start locally, or is it better to go in a forum? What do you guys think?
Well, I guess I can start. First, I want to say thanks for the mood support. I actually want to talk about that because I feel like we have been getting so much support within other communities, and the Latino community is just growing, and I think that's really amazing for us because we hear all the time, no, YouTube is saturated, YouTube is done, you can't get into YouTube, but for the Latin market, it's just getting started, it's just growing. That's probably why you see that you don't see that many creators. And I run into the same problem where I don't find, there's a lot more creators that are doing it in Spanish than they're doing it in English that are Latin, and there's that audience right there that we speak English, we live in the US, but we still like, you know, to eat our Latin food. I know there's like a lot of Mexicans who like tamales, tacos, whatever, and I like arepas, and there's so much food. So, okay, we're just really big on our food.
So good though.
So good, I know. So, I would say, you don't really have to think about YouTube locally, because YouTube is global, and it might reach a person that's Latin, but for whatever reason they're in China and they're just really homesick. You just have to think about that right now it might be going slow, but it really is the perfect time to start and just really keep doing what he said. Great content, and I feel that the community will really support I love it. I have a lot to say about that.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Through like going down. Okay. So hi, my name is Drew. It's a pleasure to meet all of you. The main thing that I want to get at is I am a gay brown YouTuber in Canada. So like there's basically nobody there who's in Vancouver specifically. Toronto is a different deal. Okay. And the problem I keep on facing when it comes to making anything, first of all, everyone that's on YouTube is basically, they're like, oh, but like, you're trying to get to Hollywood, right? I'm like, I'm not going to make it into Hollywood, by the way. It's still hard enough for a brown person to be in a role where they're not, like, a mirror, who's not even, like, Indian. So, and because the entire thing is just scrunched together and marginalized, all that kind of stuff. How is it that, how can someone who is you, who is something that's unseen, unwanted, like unrequested, who doesn't have a voice, how can I pave the way that I can become something? How can I make my footprint and be like, hey, we exist, that we're a thing, and we're not just like another Lily thing or another Just Rain, because they already exist. There's already people who are commenting about culture. How did you make your footprint and say, I'm different, and you know you are?
You have to declare it. Like, just, you don't have to ask permission from anyone. You have to, I think what a lot of us on here do is we are. We are, we say it, and it continues to go, people will notice it. Oh, okay. But it takes a while to get there. You can't, one thing I love about being a YouTuber is I don't have to get nobody's cosign. No one tells me what I need to do or what I can't do. The only thing I can't do is use algorithm. That's the only thing I can't do. But other than that, it's like, if you feel like you are a very underrepresented, marginalized minority, then embody that, because there's someone on the other side of the world who feels exactly the same. And then that somebody will be thousands of somebodies, millions of somebodies. So don't feel like I think it's very easy to get very discouraged because you feel like no one's going to identify with you. But you never know. You never know. So don't, just do it. Take YouTube day by day. Talk about you being special and different and things like that. And, have conversations about things that you uniquely experience, because there are other people who have the same experiences, whether you believe it or not.
And a little to your point, when I started, I felt the exact same way as you do. And right now I'm just talking about how this community has just recently started to grow, but I've been on YouTube for 6 years. And I'm talking about the last 2 years, it started to grow so much, and my channels, I don't know, let's say the last 3 months, I think my biggest channel, I think it's gained about 500,000. But the first 5 years, it took for the first million. So you can really get, like, I don't want to do this anymore because that pretty white boy made 10 million. But you have to do it because you want to do it, because you love to do it, because you really believe there's a community out there for you, not because, oh my God, I really need those 10 million subscribers. So I think you want to reach that community, you won't feel like you're not motivated, and you will want to keep doing it.
Yeah, and I would add that as you're talking about these social issues that you're talking about, these current events that everyone else is talking about, that it can be helpful to add in your own personal experience, your own anecdotes, your own specific times to your life, because no one has the life journey and life story that you do, and also no one has the personality that you do. And so a lot of why people come back to your videos is because they like your personality, they like your take, they like your experience, what you bring. So that's automatically going to personalize it anyway.
Also, I feel like in terms of like Hollywood, right? I think if you just perfect your craft, like work on your craft, like be so good that it's not even an issue for them anymore. Like look at like Aziz, who like on Parks and Rec, he doesn't play like an Indian guy. He plays a guy that just happens to be Indian. Like it's not necessarily that like he's not there to be an Indian dude. Like and in terms of me, I just wanted to be like I I try to be as good as I can, you know, and like now the parts that I have gotten and stuff, it's not because they need an Asian guy, it's just because they think I'm funny, you know, like traditionally I'm not what you would see in these roles, you know, like I'm a short Asian dude, you know, and I got acne scars and shit, you know, but they like me because I'm funny, you know, so it's like I feel like just work hard enough and where it's, they don't care about everything else, they just think you're talented, you know.
And don't
So, that was great. Unfortunately, we are out of time. However, I want to sneak in one more question. One more. You can come up to the mic, but we're going to have to do a spitfire response so that everyone can give them some excellent insight.
Not a problem. I'm going ahead and sum this up real quick. First off, I want to thank you guys for having this panel. I just learned a whole lot about launching a YouTube channel. One of the things that I really wanted to know was utilizing or leveraging social media. Would you guys say that it is something that you use as a reaction to tentpole events, or like for your videos as a marketing tool? Something.
Well, yeah, why not?
All right.
Thank you very much.